Warning, Arch's Garage Live is not suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Please don't touch my card no more. No more you, I become horny single guy.
I'm gonna use that as my wedding song.
Let me then go out the door. Please don't touch my card no more. No more you, I become horny single guy.
Look at this, fellas. Check this thing out. Scott's. It's the Scott's lawnmower tractor. What are you guys doing? Check out this Scott's. Let's see. Let me see what you guys are doing. We come back. Oh, let me see if I can switchy camera. Arch. I don't know. I got to find the other camera. Where is it? Is it this one? Yeah. I'm using a different camera. Whoa, that's a different shot. It's not as good. Wait, what is this? I don't know. They're texting here. Pleasey, don't you touch my cock no more. Hold on. Shut that off. They're going to make noises on me. What are you guys doing? Welcome, humans. TJM says, hi, Arch. TJ, did you check out that video? Wow, this camera really sucks. Did you check out that video I made for you? Jamie says, Uncle Arch is back. Oh, Ken's here. Says, Mr. All, hey, Carlos. Hey, I'm so early. Yes, I'm early this time. What time is it? Yeah, I'm like right on time. It's Black Magic Arch. Yeah, just like that's like a comp, you know, it's like a 2-chord comp kind of thing. Some couple of weeks ago. Looks like you're giving the finger. Yeah. The Ken says, stroking the fretboard. Yes, fingering the fretboard. Yep. Wow, this camera does not handle. And there's some light in here too, but I know. I think I can switch the setting and it'll make it better. Yeah, I'll do that in a minute. Let's see, he says, okay, now where's my Bic lighter again? I know, you can never find it when you need it. Mitch says, oh, Arch, nice jam. Robert Malley goes, Black Magic Woman. Yup, basically the same chords. Holy crap, Arch, on time tonight. What the fuck is up with that? Bravo goes, hey, I just made it here. He says, Arch, did you see my shot of my mom's car moving under it? So, yes, I did. Hold on, let me switch that camera. I think I could do it live. Hold on. Here, hold on, I gotta move this thing out of the way, because that's just horrible. Pleasey, don't you touch my thing no more. Hold on, we gotta take it down to do it. Whoa, going for a ride. Hold on. See, look. Let's see now. If I turn it to this one, not that one. This is it. Yeah, that might be better. Let's see what that does. Hold on. I like that song. Oh, it's darker. Why is it so much darker? Hold on, can I turn it up a little bit more? Yeah, because I don't think it's on auto. Hold on. Let's see, what is it on? That doesn't look too bad there. It says ISO auto. Huh. Yeah, we can do this. 150, 160. That might be better. It might be a little weird, but shutter speed needs to come up. I think it's set to ISO auto, but manual shutter speed on this setting. That's a little bit better. You can tell it's a little crisper. It's not fully automatic. It's like partially automatic. Automagically dynamic tape dispenser with the stay put stand. You guys remember that one? I just remember that. It's automagically. Let's see. Yes, I did see it. Ken says, very bright tonight. Yeah. Francis says, good evening, Arch. Ken says, Crocs on the floor. Yeah, they're around here somewhere. They're so worn out. Like, if you step on anything when those things are wet, you'll go sliding. It's a real backbreaker. Yeah, I did see Mater. Mater's moved his car from like one side of the house to the other side. You have such an attitude, Mater. You have bad attitude, bro. He's like, see, they're wrong. It does move because the town's giving him a hard time. I told him all you gotta do is make the damn thing run and then show it to him, and then don't say anything mean. Don't get an attitude. Don't. he goes walking into the town with a camera and everything and acting like those people you see on like TikTok and X and whatever, Twitch and whatever the hell it is. And they're like, I'm a sovereign citizen. I know my rights, Mr. Officer. You can't. And they don't roll down the window. And finally, like, it's like, I need to see your supervisor, right? And then everybody, they roll in and finally they break the window and they reach in, they pull the people out and I'm a sovereign citizen. What are you doing? Like, you don't do that. You don't ever do anything like that. You just be like, yeah, okay. Because it's the difference between the law and legality. And these are all like local ordinances. You know, when they start ticketing you because you left the front of your house like crap and you left garbage out front and all that. I actually did that one day across the street. The town's always over there. I pay a lot of money to live here, not just in local taxes, but I pay a lot of money in village taxes. And we have people for that, right? We have people that will come by, code enforcement. And it helps. I've seen things like couches left out in the middle of the front lawn for like a month, right? What is that? What the hell is that? Like, I pay money to live here, good money. I'm not sitting around waiting as you come home every day and there's a couch right out front in the middle of the lawn and the weeds are growing up around it. All you have to do is take it and move it a little bit further to the curb around here and they will take it. They will take it. You don't even have to call. I left a sign on it one day. I'm like, throw me out, right? When are you going to throw me out? Nothing happened. They took the sign away. They left the couch there. And I'm like, no, this isn't going to work. Because someone else in the neighborhood will call. And then once they call, then the town comes and starts peeking on. Now they don't even have to do that. They fly a drone. Like I've been getting in trouble for my roof and my siding because I need to replace my roof and my siding. And I also got to fix a window all the way up top in this little dog house. And I got to do that because they're going to come down on me for it, right? There's insurance companies fly drones and use satellite from Google. And they're like, we're canceling your insurance because you haven't fixed the roof yet. Go find another insurance company. Yep, that's what they do. You can't mess around with these people. You can't. These ordinances are about trying to keep the peace within the community. And that's what it's really about. It's the same thing with DMV because DMV, well, you don't own your car. I've gotten into this before. You don't really own your car. Because go ahead, you can own your car, right? You pay off everything, you have the title. The state still holds access to the title. And where are you going to drive it? On your lawn, right? With no insurance and no registration. Because if you take it onto their state road or their town road, right, they'll either ticket you or they'll give you a hard time and then they'll drag you into court and give you a hard. There's really no way around it. These are ordinances and they're designed to keep things more uniform and you really can't fight it. Like what you could have done, maybe what you could have done is you could have went in there and said, look, I'm having a hard way to go. You know, money's tight. You know, I'm going in for an operation, whatever, all this other stuff, because they're just people. And they would have been like, all right, well, I remember one time I went into the judge. I owed so much in tickets, right? I owed a lot in tickets. I forgot all about them. I don't know. I was young, a guy. The guy in front of me scofflawed. They arrested him, right? They just arrested the guy right in front of me. So the judge calls me up. I think it was something like an accumulated of $200. And I had cash. And some dude out in the parking lot tried to steal it from me. He tried to accost me, and I gave him a load of shit too. He didn't get anywhere. Anyway, I go up to the judge in the honor. I said, Your Honor, I'm very sorry. I didn't know about this. I just found it. I responded immediately. It's my problem. You know, I didn't mean to be a scofflaw or anything, but I wasn't paying attention the first time. I don't know. I got busy. I'm just giving you reasons, not excuses, but I'm here now to pay for it. And I was very respectful. And the guy looks at me and he looks at the amount, right? And he goes, all right, $14, pay the bailiff. I'm like, $14? He's like, yeah, I'm going to knock all this stuff off of you. You know, $14. Just go. They needed something, right? I had to break a 20. Okay. It's like 200. I'm like, you just got to, you know, be nice and respectful and all of that. And then they make it go away. Okay. Or you can make it worse. So yeah, he's all proud of himself. He moved this car, he fixed it, he moved it over to the other side. He's like, they're wrong. No, they're not wrong, bro. Because when they found the car like that, it wasn't working and it didn't have any plates on it and it couldn't move and it didn't move for weeks or a month. So they're not wrong. They're they caught you and you don't like it, right? You don't like having the red, white, and blue shaft thing shoved up your little hiney zero spot there. You don't like it. So, but you gotta. What are you gonna do? Because if you'll say you had a neighbor and you put all this money into your house and you won the lottery and you got everything all brand new and painted and all the taxes and everything are going up, and some neighbor comes along, moves in, like some of my neighbors, where 20 of them are living there. And remember last year I showed you when one of them was living in a shed, and they burned the shed down in the middle of the wintertime because they were living in a shed? And they're in and out, and they're on Thanksgiving, they're peeing out somewhere on the front lawn. No shit, right? They're peeing out in the front lawn, and the guys, all of the men that are standing around that are getting dropped off from work in a van, and shit's falling out of the van. They let the beer bottles fall in front of your fucking house, right? And they're oogling your daughter, right? Is that's what you want? Like, because I don't pay for that, right? I don't pay all the taxes and everything for that. So that gets shut down, right? Because that's the law, right? These are the legalities. Do you want it just mayhem? Yeah, just throw your trash out in front of the house. Just leave it there. No problem. And then you go and drive your car over it and you have flat tires. Or the time when one of them pulled out, slammed into my van, parked across the street, and took off because they don't have licenses. The cars aren't properly registered, or they're registered in Pennsylvania. And my van got totaled. And, in my old neighborhood, if one of my neighbors hit another neighbor's car, they'd be knocking on the door. Not anymore. So unless you want to continue to live in a world like that and be a scofflaw and give the town and everybody a hard time, I don't get it. I just don't get it. No, you're not a sovereign. No, those are not laws. These are legalities. He's a little proud. I got the car running. Yeah, you could have had it running years ago. It looks like a nice car. Now I made a left already. He's mad at me. Right? I told him this before. I'm like, you're making a big deal out of this. They're going to shaft you. Let me see what you guys are up to. I want to play something else. Hold on. Let me get ready. Oh, I need glasses. Yeah, what a nightmare across the street. What a nightmare. It's getting better because code enforcement keeps showing up. See, Francis is good evening. Yeah, Crocs on the floor. Tom W is redoing his mother's 87 Chevy Cavalier. Yeah, those are pretty good vehicles. If you kept, I saw him washing it or something the other night, and I was busy. It was like clicking around and everything. That was pretty funny. He was like washing the engine, which is good because nobody ever cleans the engine. They never, get it nice. Check this thing out. And then this thing rolls in. So this is Big Mike's. Well, it's a shot of it because I have the good camera set up over there, and I'm not touching it. Right? I've been too busy doing stuff, working on things, and I'm almost done, getting there, almost done with this thing. Let's see, what did it get today? I'll show you some of it. It's got the Kohler Command 16.5 horsepower, which you can't see the sticker. All the stickers are gone. I don't know what the date is. I got to date it. I got to find the date on it. I also got a carburetor for it, which I'll show you guys. I just opened it up a little earlier. So Mike, if you're watching, I got the carburetor for it. So the carburetor was messed up. The screws that hold down the top two were broken. The ignition system was absolutely disgusting and rancid, and a lot of the electrical wiring the connectors were rusting, and he was in there. He was starting it with a block of steel. I put in a Sten's solenoid. Is that Big Mike? He goes, yeah. He goes, I am. Yeah. I put in, I redid the wiring in the back and made it all mint and neat and put everything nice and replaced a lot of the connectors. I popped a fuse holder in it with like a 20 or 30 amp fuse. I forget. It was like 20 amp. So now it key starts. It turns over. The carburetor, I think he had it off too many times, or the other guy as well, and I think it was leaking through the bowl. Eventually, you'll see that. So I don't think it leaked inside the motor, though. But we're going to change the oil. I got a filter for it, got a plug for it. The valves, I pulled the rocker covers off. There were some motors that had adjustable rockers. This isn't one of them, but I verified that, and I put the cover back on. It's pretty clean inside. It's not mint. It's an older machine. I can't really tell you which motors by serialization or numbers have or don't have adjustable rockers, but I wanted to go in there. It pumps out 100 PSI on compression. So I mentioned to him earlier that if ever it cranks over real nice and strong at 100 psi. So if ever it doesn't want to crank, don't bother opening up the rocker cover because they're non-adjustable, and that's not the problem. What else? It's interesting too because he's got the heavy beam in the front. I'll aim it down a little bit. Hold on. Let me see. I got to see if I could just nudge it. You should be able to see it. I can't see it. Yeah, you can kind of see the heavy beam in the front. Heavy beam suspension, but he hooked a plow to it. Let me move it down a little bit more. I can't really move it. This is like a stationary rig. So he's got plow stuff, but the bushings in the wheels are plastic. So, I haven't had them off yet, but I'm pretty sure it's these bushings. Let me get them. Hold on. I think it's these bushings. So, that's something I wanted to mention to him. Is it this bushing? They did some hokey crap, so I don't know why you would have a steel front end beam without proper bearings or brass bushings, or because one of the wheels is ready to fall off. So I think it's this one. Is this it? Yeah. These are the bushings in the wheels. So there it goes. So you can't plow with this, Mike. Which is really cheesy because it's got an iron beam front suspension, and they put these in. What the hell? Since I said to him, I said I need a lathe because I would spin something up. I wonder if. Hold on, wait. It's okay, cool. I'm wondering. He goes. So anyway, I'm wondering if you can put a different kind of bearing or something in there. I don't know what's available if anybody knows, but I really don't. I've seen some variations of bearings and things. I don't know what kind of bearing you would get to replace these crappy bushings. Is that Big Mike? No, that's my ex. They're not very big. I could turn something out of bronze if I had Johnny's lathe, Johnny's Atlas. I got to get me a lathe and a small turret mill press because this is unacceptable. This is just unacceptable. You really can't plow with this thing. Why would you do that? I don't get it. That's so cheap. And then I found a new solenoid Stens. Because I think he put a Chinese, well, they're all Chinese, but the cheap Chinese one. I don't know, fellas, if this is any better than the cheap Chinese. I don't know. It's Stens. It's a Stens product. Maybe they get better parts. Generally speaking, they seem to. So we'll find out. And it's got a fuse on it. What's Mike saying? Let's see. Catch up with Mike too. I'll show you guys some stuff. Hold on. So I got the camera set up over there. So the girls are chatting. My pregnant cat had children. He goes, I'm working on a lathe for you. That's so awesome. She had my baby cat, because she's like 8 months old. She had children or having children. So what else is new today? Right? Well, we used to have kids when we were all younger, right? Nowadays, people don't even have them anymore. I've seen the statistics, especially if you're white. White people aren't having children. It's like 1.45 or something. It's not even like 1-to-1 anymore per parents. And Democrat liberal people, they have even less children. I think they just hate life so much. Sorry if you're a liberal Democrat, but you're not having kids. I don't know why. It's bizarre. Look at the statistics. What else is I going to get to? Oh, before I want to show you this. Hold on. I'm going to show you some pics of Mike. So I went over Big Mike's Scott's is got to be the most filthiest machine I have worked on in the longest time. Oh, who would know that the deck is, I thought it was black, right? No, it's gray. It was black when I started. The deck, the frame, it was black. And I was like, oh, typical black frame, right? Because usually like the Craftsmans and a lot of stuff, our Sunstars, they're black. No, not at all. It's gray. Wow. There's still dirt stuck in spots, right? Fortunately, it was a really nice day the other day, and I got it really clean. But the motor seems to be in really good shape. I got to do the carburetor tomorrow. Let me get that. I'll show you guys that. Well, I'm not going to do it tomorrow. I got to work on this lady's little shit banger real quick, and then it's Mother's Day. I'm off. The rims, I thought the rims were, I think there's the white in the front. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think that one looks the one that's, yeah, one of them's white. It was so dirty, I couldn't tell you, but it's actually in pretty good shape. They were made pretty well, but I don't know what the hell's going on with that front end. That's just crazy. I'm going to fix that. That won't last, plowing with that thing. But the rest of it seems like it's okay. It's got a small hole in the deck, mostly from just junk sitting. Sharpen the blades. The blades are in good shape. What else did I do to it? Yeah, it was really bad. Mostly the wiring, and then I'm going to do some lubrication. There was so much junk stuffed underneath the battery that I can't imagine how this transmission even cooled. It's the tranny with the fan on top. And I said to him, Mike, you got to keep that clean because the fan won't do anything to cool the transmission if it's literally plugged up with crap. So all that's cleaned out. I think it is worse than it really is because it was left to be dirty for so long, and then that dirt holds the moisture. He goes, what's that? Ken goes, is that a red Scotch lock on the wiring? Where? Yes, it is. It's not mine. Okay. Yes, he saw it. Wait, hold on. Wait. He's like, is that a red Scotch? Hold on. I'll point it out in case. Yeah, it's not mine. I didn't do that. Right? I'm not there yet. This must be the thing that goes over to that. I don't know what maybe it goes over to that stupid fuel shut off, anti-dieseling, annoying thing on the bottom of the carburetor thing. That's probably what it is. He's like, he hates those. He goes, Mike goes, hey, I did that. Yeah. We'll put one of those wire tie things on it. He goes, for a minute there, I thought we were in wiring at Craco CB in 1978. That's funny. Yeah, put like a 120 volt, 110 AC wire nut on there, you know. I've seen that. I've done that in a pinch. You know, no, I've got plenty of wiring connectors. I went through all of that. Let's take a closer look at it. Before you go, hold on, I just opened up the carburetor. So, we'll find out tomorrow. Now, I bought these carburetors. I bought a whole bunch of other ones. That video's not out yet. Where is the other one? Some stuff is here. Yeah, here we go. Stuff's everywhere. Look at this thing. So that was his air filter. So his plug wasn't happy about it. So I actually bought this from HIPAA. They don't know. I bought a bunch of carburetors from HIPAA and a few other places, and I'm working on a video on what's going on with some of these carburetors. So I don't want the manufacturers to know what I'm up to until they find out. You know. So I bought. I don't know when I'm going to get the video out. You know. I'm like 2 years behind. Now it's bad. Ken goes. He goes. Those carburetors are known for leaking needles. Yeah, I'm not surprised, but the bowl was pretty beat up. And he goes, so this is, and it comes with a new thing across the top. So you get that. You get a plug. I've used HIPAA plugs. They're not bad. They don't seem to be a problem. You get a new HIPAA copy, RCY, RJ, RC, I don't know what the hell they are. 12YC. You get one of these kits with the jumper and electrical jumper and everything for the thing on the bottom. And it looks like it feels pretty decent. We'll see if it goes on. I haven't really matched up yet. It's the first I'm looking at it. Arch, can we see it? Well, it's the first I'm looking at it. Hold on a minute. We'll see if it works. because his is beat up. What scared me is that, you know how I always say on my videos, whenever I'm cleaning like a carburetor or whatever, which I don't do a lot of carb stuff, but I always say blow it low pressure air. He's heard me say that. Guess what? When he took the vol down, he admitted. So credit to him. He goes, I'm like, did you blow it with low pressure? He goes, no, I just, whatever was coming out of the hose. And he says, I think something went flying. I saw something. Oh, man. I don't know. We'll find out. I always tell everybody, don't throw out the original carburetor. Oh, contractor Mike's driving me nuts. He's breaking everything as I give it to him. And it's crazy. I got like 20 machines back there of his now. He's been collecting them like crazy. Yeah, so we'll find out more probably Monday. I'm going to work with the carburetor. What was I doing? So I got the ignition system all squared away. It cranks over. I rewired and cleaned all of the terminals on the regulator and the ignition module because it's an advanced module. So this module actually does the advanced. This one here. So on these engines, and all of these terminals, even the 3 terminals on top of the coil were rotting. So that is the regulator. Okay, so you're getting also power, not just fed from the battery, but you're getting it from the stator, and some of it winds up here. And this is the ignition advanced module. So a lot of the stuff, the terminals were kind of beat. So everything got cleaned up, and they were loose too. And also on the coil. So all of that is done. Spark is beautiful. So Mike's getting caught up right now. But I've been showing him like little cuts, you know, with the cell phone. Because now that I have the network and everything and the wireless out here, I can actually pass through some decent bandwidth and, you know, take these little shorts. I should put them up on YouTube, but you know me, I'm not going to do that. Not that I have anything against it. Now with a 3-minute short, you can actually put something up on YouTube. That's pretty nice. So let me find what I want to show you. Just we'll run past it real quick. Let's see what Robert's up to. Hey, Robert! Scotch lock, I know. You know, people make fun of Scotch lock, but for something temporary, like I need to get some Scotch locks because if you're trying to like work on a project and rough something out and you're not sure, the Scotch lock is the way to go, but I wouldn't leave it. You know, yes, Arch, what you do is you run a Scotch lock and then you run tape and heat shrink over it, right? And then that's considered to be professional. Actually, I soldered a wire onto that thing. I keep a lot of those blade style, you know, connectors. They're like the blade fuse connector pigtails. I keep them wherever I find them, stuff that I, you know, get, whatever. And, well, I soldered a nice one onto the existing wiring because he cut it. It was bare and he just hand twisted it. Sorry, Mike, I got to make fun of you a little bit. He goes, clicks are clicks. Shake that money maker. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so from now on, right, the Methods, Engineering, and Practices book now specs out a Scotch lock it's accepted if it's taped, electrically taped, with one full wrap in one direction, another full wrap in the opposite direction, and then one layer of heat shrink tubing, and then that's mil spec, Scotch lock style, right? No one's gonna watch the electrical stuff that I'm doing on this thing. I guarantee you, when I put it up, it's gonna get like 150 views lifetime. I can almost guarantee you that. Let's see. Is there? Oh, no Scotch lock. Yeah. Or is it a fuse holder? I don't know. It's something that's still hanging on the side. I didn't get there yet. I'm not sure what it's connected to. Robert goes, she lives with him. Who lives with who? Oh, his mom? Yeah. That's like their house, right? Isn't that what I think the story? She must be getting old now. God bless. Let's see. The red thing, yeah. Because it's most of those are all fixed rockers. Yeah, they speak of this. Ken says most of them are like they're fixed, the hydraulic. The manual, I have to get the manual. If you're working on one of those Colas, just go find the manual. All right, I downloaded it. They speak of this Enigma thing that has adjustable rockers. I don't know, maybe the one that's on the John Deere outside has adjustables. It's almost identical. It's listed as a 16 horsepower, and it doesn't have the solenoid fuel shut off on the bottom of the bowl. It doesn't have that. It predates that. So I'm wondering if that has adjustable rockers. I've never seen one. I'm like, well, let's just check and take a peek in there anyway while we're here. Also, on that model over there, there's a bunch of shrouds and stuff and, fin covers and everything that, that have to come off in order for you to really properly pull off the rocker cover, which those things needed to come off anyway because it was so packed with crap, right? So I'm like, all these are coming off and we'll clean everything good and everything, because it was too dirty to even attempt to take off the cover. So all of that's nice and clean and done. I've got footage of it. He goes, my bulb worked perfectly. My bulb worked perfectly. It did. He put in, actually not a bad idea. He put in a bulb. What happened to the original inline fuse thing, Mike? Where did it go? Did it fry? So he put one of these nice bayonet mount, right? A bulb as a fuse, which is better than nothing, right? And of course, if the light goes out, then you really got a problem. But yeah, they should make all fuses lit. If you think about it, right? You look down at a fuse box and everything is lit and you're like, they all work, good. The problem's not here. But then if you look down and you see a couple of mystery ones or two that are not lit, you're like, why I should invent that. Somebody else will now. Okay, so which way would you want it? Would you want them lit when they're on and working or lit when they're broken? It would be a lot dimmer if it was that way. But then again, where would you get the power from if the fuse burned out? Right? You'd have to have it reverse powered somehow, which is possible. Put a battery in it. Let's see. What is it? Bravo goes, plastic bushings, Robert. I know, right? I've seen this before. Let's see. Bravo goes, I turned some bronze oil impregnated bushings. Yup. Because you got the equipment to do it. Matey goes, you better buy a lathe before price. I know, no, but I'm looking at the old timers. Not that I wouldn't want a new one. I'm not saying, but I like old tools. Like, you guys know by now, right? I like old stuff. I'm old. Well, you guys are old too. And I do like some of the older stuff. It's just kind of like, it's an affection for something that somebody made. Somebody, not that somebody didn't make the new stuff. Well, a lot of the new stuff they really didn't really make it either. It's still, like, things now are becoming, everything is so automated. He goes, let's see. Ken's got, the little fuses. Let me see what these are. Auto blade, smart glow. Nice. He goes, smart glow. Hold on. Let's see if I can get to it. Little fuse, smart glow. Did they turn on? Yeah, look, it shows them kind of turning on. It glows when it blows. Nice. That's what she said, fellas. Hold on. See that? I wonder how much longer these things will be around, these little bladed fuses. Like, what's the next step? From there. Remember the like AGM, the glass fuses, or whatever they were called? What were they called again? Those glass fuses, the little glass fuses. Then they made them really small. But yeah, if you want to get like an aftermarket piece, there's some nice stuff out there. There definitely is. The prices right now are reasonable, but yeah, we're in a trade war, fellas, and things could get real bad real quick. See, X says, I didn't miss the Toro Time Master stuff, did I? No, we didn't really do the Toro Time Master stuff yet. We're doing the Scots. Catching Big Mike up on his Scots out there. He goes, Arch, don't insult me by calling me old. I'm depressed enough. Things don't work the way they used to. I know, but you know what, fellas, and I don't, not to diss anybody or anything, and God bless, but getting old is not a right. It is a privilege. You do have to work at it, but a lot of us don't make it. And, so when you get older, it's really, you got to think of all those aches and pains. They're like war wounds, you know. They're badges of honor is what they are, because you're still in it. And you got to look at it that way, because a lot of us don't make it, you know. And I don't want to make any more depressed, but it really is kind of an honor getting older. Like, you just got to get used to it and suck it up. You know, it sucks. So a couple of my friends came by. So my friend Arthur, my brother from another mother, he's older. He's one of my mentors and good friends, and the brother. And a brother also from another mother who's my age, right? He lives all the way upstate, Albany, tip of the spear. And so they happened to be around, and we played some music, and we hung out for a little while. And that was fun. That was like last week or something. And sometime, was it last week or the week before? Yeah, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. How old are the kittens now? Hold on. So 3 kittens. So we had to kind of rush to figure that thing out, because I've never had cats before. Hold on, let me see. How old are the kittens now? Let's see. I don't know, a couple of weeks, 3 weeks. Their eyes are open now. They have eyes now. And Mama is doing good. We've got a setup in the front room that we never used. It's falling apart, that needs work. It's turned into a mess. So they're kind of like held up there. She takes a break a couple of 3 times a day, usually sometime after lunch or around lunchtime, depending what time. She'll come and hang with me for a little bit. She's very friendly, really good cat. And she'll hang, and then of course dinner time she wants to eat. But most of the time she's busy with her children, you know, raising and rearing cats, little kitten things. They're kind of cute. I'm trying not to bond with them, really, because one of them is already spoken for. I don't know which one. And to me, the whole idea of, it just seems like people give away the kittens, right? But then the poor cat that had them and is raising them, it's like you're ripping their children out from underneath their breast and handing them off to some Tom, Dick, and Harry. I mean, what a head trip. I've never had cats before, so I've never done anything like that. I'm thinking to myself, don't get too cozy with the kittens, because they're going to be gone. And then the poor cat is going to lose her children. What a horror that is. She says 11 days, and she says, I'm going to have the last slice of pizza after my shower. KK, manja. So that whole thing, oh no, manja. How do you spell manja? No, not manca, manja. It won't let me do it. I don't know how to spell manja. I don't know how to spell manja anyway. I think that whole thing is just wrong on levels, right? You like take the cats, the cat's kittens away from it after it's been nursing them and nurturing them and cuddling with them and bonding with them. And then some human comes along, reaches in and goes, here, you can take this one. I don't want any part of that head trip. What's so wrong? But then again, you know, and then the girls are like, yeah, but like, are you going to pay to feed these things? Because they're eating, you know, they're going to start eating like crazy. I'm not the one that did any of this. It ain't me. It ain't me. All right. Robert goes, he goes, all you guys are mere pups. I know Johnny's up there. He's like our, you know, our king dude over there. He's the guy. Jamie goes, getting old ain't for sissies. No, it's not. You gotta tighten up. Definitely. You gotta tighten up. Yeah, it's definitely hard. It's different, right? X goes, the mother-parent relationship with animals like cats does not last that long. I hope so, right? That's what I've heard. You know, I'm assuming that at some point, like birds, right? What does a bird do? After at some point, it just throws its baby bird out of the nest up in the tree, and if it falls and hits the ground and breaks its neck, it's like, okay, that's less mouths to feed. Next. Let me find that other thing. Let's see. I don't think I need. Well, I need some audio. So let's see if I get the audio right, fellas. This is a different setup for tonight. So we got that, and we got this, and Eventually I'll bring you guys into the main window. Let's see, do I have it open? Oh look, wait. Here, look. Let's see, I gotta bring it up anyway. The right monitor. Maybe you can see a little bit more, and I'll go over to the other side. So just take a peek. Let's go over to the other side. Okay, let me zoom in a little. So just so you can see. So here's where we are. All right, so for reference, all right, looking here. Everything's been sealed up. There's your relay pack over there, tied up out of the way. Oh, I got one little tie wrap to cut. Oh boy. Oh, we got an emergency job for Big Mike. Carburetor issues, solenoid, not starting, dead battery, leaking big time from the carburetor. It doesn't look like a Nicky. So let's get this thing cleaned up. It's got, let me see if I can. Alright, I got the air cleaner off. Well, before we pull it, I just want you to see the arrangement. It's pretty dirty in here, but what we'll do is we'll take the top off too. I would love to take the top off. There's all of this here. Now, worst case, when the stuff comes, if I run into an issue, we can use from here. This poor guy. See, this one's before that stupid diesel solenoid or whatever the hell they want to call it. That's a nice carburetor. Same thing, Walbro, same air filter, same 16.5. I think this one they're calling a 15, Command 15. Let's take a look at what we got so far. Alright, this looks like maybe an ignition module then, right? See? So, we have a yellow wire here. Oh, that's all corroded up. And then this looks like a brown wire. Alright, on my right. Notice where we are. Yeah, it's all corroded. But, anyway. And then, you've got a white and a red. Alright, last look for today. So, that's all nasty. It's all nasty in there. That's a broken bolt. That's a broken bolt. We'll see if we can get that out. That's pretty nasty. It's pretty crusty in there. We'll get all that out. It'll cool better and it won't beat up the engine and the oil. That's how you throw valves. Yep, and drop, ooh, what's that? Alright, good. Now this is kind of like a last look back here. Because I want to drop it down now. We'll drop all this down and I'm going to put the blades on. I want to drop the oil. There's a couple other things to do, but this looks really good. I can't put any more tension on it. We got to get up to the handle because something's not right with the handle. The handle is bent. Hold on. Put the cap on. Alright, I want to give you guys a closer look. I'll go over what I did. I'll get you in tight in here. We'll talk about the actuation and I'll actuate it. But this is what I'm kind of settling in on. So this is all adjusted. And I did the best I could with the cable routing. We can put a little tension. But after talking to Mike, he realizes that this is something that when he loads his machines, he can get it hooked on something, damage it. It was kind of sticking out way out here. So I cut off all of the existing ties and everything. And I went over it. And so this is what I came up with as I started to split it out. We have our throttle cable. Everything's been lubed. Come down here. It looks pretty straight. Comes down nice. The throttle cable comes over that way. The way I clamp with tie wraps is I don't just bundle everything together. I separate out the runs and I clamp them to here. Then this one cable comes over this way, goes up to here. These were laying on the outside, so you could accidentally grab it, when you're looking for the handle. Also, this cable here was rubbing on this corrugated, and it was starting to damage the wire, so I wrapped that up with some tape. I disconnected it, I cleaned and lubed the connections there, and then I moved it to the other side of this rail here. Oh yeah, it's clean. Clean everywhere. Clean enough for sure. Yeah, that's looking good. Yeah, I think we got everything blowed out as best as possible. Let's take a peek from the other side. Well, that's not bad. So I used the chains as like a cradle. These chains are a little bit big for this kind of application. That's what I had. But it's probably be a little bit more useful if it was a lighter chain. But there's your brake, and there's not a lot going on there. Looks like it's kind of jammed up. That's actually what it looks like. Something's not right with that cable. We may have to make a support or something. Yeah, that doesn't seem right, does it, fellas? Yeah, see how it's getting hung? Yeah, oh, that's not in the right spot. Okay, that's his problem, I think. All right, yeah, that's not up in there, and it probably popped out. So we'll have to make a clamp or something to keep it up in there, something to do that. I bet you that's one of the problems. And then split screen. And then, how do I do this? So put you here, detach chat, pop out chat. And then you go like that, and we're in business. And then I go this way. Let's see. He goes, this reminds me of the lawnmower I fixed for a guy and replaced both of the coils, which were eaten by mice. I know. That's the other reason why I tell people to go and take the lids off and stuff, because you don't know. Sometimes you don't know. You might catch it, before things get really, badly damaged. So, and they're air cooled. All of these machines, they're not liquid cooled. All the small ones are air cooled, and you kill your oil, which then when the oil goes bad, then it kills the motor, and you just kill your motor. It's, why? It's like on the Hondas, it's 3 10-millimeter nuts on top. Exco's told him to throw a trash bag over it and throw some duct tape around it. When he stored it for this winter, they could crawl in around the engine. He goes, he didn't listen. Same stuff happened again. Yep. Yeah, some areas are just, he needs more cats. Definitely. X goes, nice walk behind. Bravo goes, hey, Arch, if you're saying anything while clicking between videos, we can't hear you. Oh, is that what happens? I'm not surprised. Oh, yeah, you know why? Yeah, okay, because I switched the mic input. Thanks, Johnny. He goes, yeah. So I switched the mic input. I forgot about that. So when I go, for example, if I come back to here, let me just switch. So I got to remember to do that. Like, I never used to have to do that, but now I switched it. I said I don't know if I like it. So if I come to here, then I have to go to this mic, and let's check the audio on that. That seems okay. Yeah, how's the audio there? Yeah, it's just maybe barely tickling the red. Bring it down to about here. That should be good. So yeah, this was the Bob Vila stuff. So I got to remember to do that. So let me come back to here. Live scene setup. That's right monitor. ATEM cameras. I can't leave them both on because then they'll. How does this sound? Because this might echo a little bit. Let me know. I listened to it the other day. It's not as clean if I leave both inputs on. It might sound a little echoey. So let me know. I'm going to leave them on for a little bit. Let me cue up the next thing. That's the one I did the other day. I'm pretty sure. And this is one that I put out recently. So let's go click. So it's Echo City. All right, now watch the transition. So I'll just turn it off. Somebody's. He goes, yeah, a lot of echo. Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah. So now I'm just on the one mic, right, Mike? And this is the one I did the other day. Again, made in America. I'm just going to click through it real quick. Made in USA. I sold this one. It sold right away. This is not on a video yet. This one's a little bit different because the one I sold and I put out on YouTube, that one had big wheels in the rear. This is one where I'm working on some carburetor scenarios. I bought 3 different carburetors. I rebuilt an original carburetor and it ran too rich because the motor's getting, it's like 60 PSI. It's getting a little weak. It's getting a little tired. But it's ran good for the most part, but it did not like the stock jetting. And I checked all of the extra carburetors, original equipment carburetors I had laying around. And they all are 026. Then I bought 3 carburetors from 3 different places, which I don't know if they're 3 different manufacturers. We don't know. Maybe there's only one manufacturer in Shenzhen, China. I don't know. There could be, maybe there's 2. Maybe they just run different product specifications and tolerances. We don't know that. I don't know how you would find that out. But it made a difference. And finally, I settled it on, I measured all of the jets and I examined all the carburetors and I showed it. Somebody's digging me. Hold on. He goes, Big Mike goes, what's the advantage of big wheels? Oh, yeah, big time. I'll show you in a second. So big wheels in the rear, wouldn't they look cool? But this is the one that had a leaking engine on it. And the engine was no good because at some point I feared, it ran out of oil because it was leaking really bad, which is usually what happens. I took it on a trade, I think I gave the guy like $20 off. But I like these mowers, so to me it was worth it. Let's see. All right. You're going to start it? Yeah, let's see. This might have been the first start. Yeah.
He's good.
It'll surge.
Beautiful, fellas. Let it warm up. Let it warm up.
Up there it goes. See? Gotta turn it down a little. Hold on. Who the hell's calling me? Is that Tina? Hold on. Hello? I'm on live.
Might be water in the tank or something.
I'm on live.
Do you know when somebody's here to see you?
Who?
Mike?
Oh yeah, Mike knows to just bring the machine around back.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
He should be coming through the gate, sweetheart, and trying to drop off a mower.
Okay.
All right?
Put more fuel in it.
All right.
He's coming back now.
All right.
Hold on.
Bye.
Yeah, hold on. Big Mike's here. Oh, I'll let something run. I mean, contractor Mike. I'll just say hi to him real quick. Yeah, what can I roll? Hold on. Mike. Yeah, Mike. Yeah. All right, good. See, he left it. Good, Mike. Cool, Mike. I'll show you. He left it here. I'm coming back. Hold on. Let's see. All of this stuff happens. This is how every day has been. It's been crazy. So he just left me yet another turf master. Right? So they're all here now. See it? Yet another one. All right, let me shut off this mic. And I'll come back to there. So now we're on one mic again. Yeah. It's crazy here. It's just that's why I haven't even done lives or anything. I'm like, this is until like 10 o'clock at night. It's just crazy. Yes, it is missing the hubcaps. I think I threw the black ones on. Little black. You can put the little black cover over the center, or you can put the bigger ones on. But you know what? People don't like that. I asked them, like, do you want the hubcaps on or off? They're like, leave it off. I'm like, you really should put them on. It'll help protect the wheels. They don't care, right? They don't care. So I want to answer Big Mike's question. So Big Mike asked, what's the advantage? So with the big wheels, right? You got a big fulcrum right there. And with front wheel drive in particular, especially the one that I made, where I don't think I really like it. It has this handle that you push over and it locks the drive on while you have the bail pulled back. If you let the bail up a little bit, it'll pop that lock. If you let go of the bail, the engine kills and the lock comes off and the handle pulls all the way back. Drive shuts off, engine shuts off. And so let's say you're running down and you want to dodge around something, you know, like bushes or whatever. You have the handle on, the wheels are spinning, and you don't want to release the handle. It's very easy to push down just a little bit because of the big wheels, and it lifts up the front wheels enough. You don't need to do it all the way, but you can lift it up just so it loses traction, so you can kind of maneuver it and dodge around. Now, you can't do that with rear drive, right? Like my Honda rear drive, all the weight, it's a heavy machine, all the weight is on the rear drive wheels. But my Honda has separate handles for everything. It's got a throttle control with the choke. It's got a blade engagement handle, which you can let go. You can let go of every handle and walk away from the machine, and it's still running because it's got a clutch on the blade, right, for the blade adapter. So you can idle down the machine, walk away, pick up dog poop, move kids' furniture and patio furniture. The machine's still running, come back. But when you want to dodge around something, you have to sort of ease up on the drive, because what are you going to do? You're going to pick it up like this? You know, I mean, sometimes you have to. I mean, I've actually had to do that where you've had to like pick it up from the back. You don't have to do that with a front wheel drive with the big wheels. There isn't any one really good solution. And the other thing I don't like about front wheel drive is if you're one of these people that has a really nice lawn and you want stripes, right? You want to go like crosswise or whatever. If your lawn is high, even the heavy front wheel drive Craftsman that I have, it does this. Okay, it just does, right? And if the lawn's a little uneven or you hit something, it just does this. It just starts to do that. Whereas the Honda, once you set it on its path, most of the time when I'm running the Honda, like if I'm cutting around something and I can't stand to the left, I can actually stand all the way here to the right, and you just kind of nudge the machine and it just goes. It'll cut a straight line. It'll go around the corner. It just goes. The Craftsman does this, okay? It's got great wheels on it, though. I mean, those wheels are in great shape, but it does. And also, the front-wheel drive, if your lawn is a little weak in a few spots, like this time of year, if it hasn't really, you know, in the very beginning of the year, I noticed this already. If it's got a weak spot or you're in a weak area, it's a little dusty, it'll dig holes, right? It'll rip up the grass, it'll dig holes. So, and then it'll run over those pieces of grass and everything and turn them into puke. That's just the way it is. It's just how it is. So yeah, good catch, Mr. Somebody X says clean carb and it'll be fine, I bet. No, I already went through the carbs. Like I said, that's a completely rebuilt carburetor. And then I tried some different carburetors, and I don't know if I have that right here. I should have that somewhere. Let's see. Before I get to that, is this the mess? This is one of the messes. Yeah. That's one of them. All right, they're starting to line up out here. Yeah, hold on. Let's see, right one. Now I got to switch. Is this my... So, this one I got on trade. Yeah, I got another one to do too. That's the one I showed before. This one I just the guy. So I got these two. I can't give you any money for that. This guy, which is you see in double, right? Similar problem. Mike wants to bring over another one of these, which he just did. The one he just bought, he's having issue with. He also bought a Time Master. So he bought. Hold on. Let me stop this thing. So this one he bought a little while ago. The front wheels are kind of falling off, but the motor runs really well. And then, like an idiot, sometimes he makes me so mad. So he drops the machine off and didn't really tell me. I wanted to run it. He took the oil filter out of it. I put oil in it, and I'm like, ooh, why is there no oil in it? So I put some used oil in it. I went to start it, and it puked. I'm like, where's the oil? So he left it out with no oil filter and no oil in it. And it could have ruined, or I could have ruined by accident, a nice motor. It turns out this Cowie motor runs very well. It runs better than the machine he just dropped off. The machine he just dropped off is exactly like this, except it's in better shape because I've gone over it. But the motor is getting tired. The carburetor is leaking. It's having some issues. The motor knocks a little bit. I don't know. He says it died. I don't know. I don't know what he did. They don't know how to keep these things running. I think he overpaid for this. All right. But there's no rod on it anywhere. The transport's in good shape. The front wheels, bungee, corded together, strapped together. Right? Well, at least we're all together. All together now. Broken here. God knows what the hell's going on. This, the electrics, somebody ripped electrics off of it and like it, yeah, okay, it doesn't electric start anymore. I said to the guy, I can't give you any for these. Let me see if I can find the other one. Now, I don't remember what I did with the other two Time Masters. Well, you can see, fellas, when you have this many videos, you know. And this, I have so much stuff. Is it under here? No, I don't know why it would be under here. That's a different camera. That's the better camera. Let's see here. Oh, is this it? Yeah, ooh. Yeah. All right, I'm going to take this, once again, all right, the Scotch Brite, and I'm going to hit... What's that bolt for? Yeah, weird. So I'm going to... I will polish the hit. The grounding area, that looks pretty good. Okay, that's the actual charging system. The fronts of these, so I'm going to hit this magnet. My Tecumseh. Right there. And that's actually what's on my Honda as well. A Tecumseh coil and charging system. Which I think is pretty cool. All right, so I picked up one of those. I think it works. I haven't tested it yet. Yeah, I don't see him. Let me come back. I want to get something different. All right, now I got to remember to turn that mic off. And we're all good to go. And then I can come back to... Here. Done. Let's see. All right, so we got echoes, no problem now. This is somebody says it's missing the hubcaps. Clean carbon will be fine, I bet. My Husqvarna is an all-wheel drive mower. Yes, we're proud of you. I sold a bunch of those. Me, I would take everything Husqvarna and throw it right into the freaking trash. Right? That company sucks. Put Americans out of business. Buy up companies in the United States, right? And then in these small towns where people are working, trying to earn a living, and then move it to Mexico. Yep. And put them out on the street. So you could take your effing Husqvarna junk and literally throw it in the deep for all I can. Set it on fire and make a YouTube video out of it and tell those people to go F themselves. Seriously. I'm so sick of this crap. It just makes me nuts. Because I want a foot drive mower. Yeah. There's a nice machine back there. What the hell is it? I think it might be a Skag or a Wright, but it's a stand-on. I got to go over it as well. Let me see what's in this folder. So there's a couple more things I wanted to show you. Stand by. Let me move this. Yeah, because I'm not ready for anything. I'm just going like the Dickens, just trying to get as much done as possible. This is going to be a rough week. And the weather isn't going to be nice. I think I only have like 2 days to work, outside and to get everything done that I want to get done. But yeah, let me just show you the carb setup though real quick. Because like I said, I bought 3 carburetors and I opened them all up. I put them on that one mower, that green mower that I showed you with the smaller tires. I also have a lot of footage on Tecumseh engines and stuff, the older Tecumseh engines that I want to show. And that's a separate video. I think it might be one of these. Let me just breeze through some of this stuff real quick. Yeah, there's some of it here. I have a little bit
So
of a
I
parts
bought this
explosion
stuff
in here,
on
which is
my
one of
own
the
dime.
ideas of today is to kind of go through a lot of this stuff. I'm starting to lay out and prep out for the engines and the projects, immediate projects, the two on my table, and then the other ones that I know are going to be coming up. So this is your conventional.
All right, hold on, Arch.
This
Shut
is the
up.
newer. Oh. All right, hold on.
All right,
We
so
got a little housekeeping to do.
all of these here.
I have a little bit of
Wait,
a parts
I just wanna
explosion in here,
shut
which
this
is one
off.
of the ideas of today is to kind of go through a lot of this stuff.
All right, I don't want the audio on, so I'm just going to cruise through it. So this is one. These were all the ones that I took off of engines I'm working on. Only one of them I rebuilt. All fresh rebuild kits. So I go through all of these different carburetors. Let me move this air filter out of my way. And then later on, I actually open them up. These are some of the motors I'm working on. One of them's mine. One of them went on that green machine that I just showed you earlier with the black tires. And so I'm setting them up with carburetors. It's a little out of sequence. It's going to be. Oh, yeah. Extravaganza. Now we got all these motors, carburetors, box of, well, I don't know what carburetors have been sitting around, which was actually condensed down to a smaller box at some point. New carburetors back here, all kinds of stuff on the floor, and all these engines. So this one of these engines, this engine here, that's going to go on this push body. So I'm going to get to that in a minute. This beautiful 22 inch. We're going to do that first. Now this engine is mine, and we compression tested it and went over everything. So that's about 100 psi. That's really nice, and it's all prepped out, waiting for its associated components to be put on the new the refurbished body. That's been, now this is day 3. I just put it back outside in the sun and just in the environment. It's really, really dry, and it's probably cured. And now that body and everything was an electric start. The battery is actually over here. I was trying to charge it last night. Hold on. So, let's see, 12 have charging circuits, but they have the starter motor. Yeah, these have starter motors.
So, and we'll pilfer it.
One came good.
Okay, fellas.
So I'm measuring out the
Now,
jets.
Let's take a look here.
I'm documenting, what the jet sizes are and what the original jet sizes are here on Long Island at sea level. So I don't know what they may have put somewhere else in different parts of the country. I can't tell you that. I went through boxes of this shit. I rebuilt this carburetor and I put it on that machine and it ran too rich. And I tried a bunch of these carburetors. I documented what each one was. I wrote on the bowl what it was, and then I put them on. And I chose the one that ran the best, and then I documented that. And I sold the machine in like a day. But I went through all of them. See, the one in my, if you're looking at it
in here, we're all good to go.
to the right, that's the one that I rebuilt, okay? And it ran okay, it just ran too rich on that engine. So everything I did on the first engine, for the machine that I sold, and then I repeated something very similar to mine, the one that I showed you that's really meant with the electric start. Eventually it'll have the electric start on it. So as best as scientifically you can do with an effing carburetor, right, without getting too overly involved with it. But there are differences. So if you buy a carburetor thinking that, this is a HIPAA. I think that's the one that wound up on my machine. This one was like 0255, I believe is what it came out to. See, I wrote it on there. See, that one got written on. I show all the internals.
I measure everything with calipers, and I made sure I was. Look, that one says 025 over there. I can see it in the corner. See, here we go. All right, let's just finish this part up. So the HIPAA I wrote on here is $13.88. It's a .025.
Was.
Nice piece, slightly larger. Okay. The first one I think I was looking at was the Harbot. Whatever. This is Harbot $12.79, and this is 022. So I'm writing it on there. So that's a good candidate. And as you can see, it came with the HIPAA plug and a whole bunch of nice stuff. And this was actually a pretty good deal. The Simperac is what the name is. I think this is the one that was on sale. It still is, but it went up in price. They call it a sale, but you're getting a little bit more stuff with it. I don't know. It's 6 1/2 dozen of the other. So this one here is an 022. I think we're going to use this one.
That's very small.
And then Que Sera Sera, right? I think this is the one
That
came
is
with
way
this
too
plug.
small.
No name.
That will
So we
not
got
run right. It will
022,
surge.
1688. I think that's a little pricey, but you get some extra stuff in it.
It was
Let's
$8.
set this one up. Be right back. I want to go find, some scrap, and we'll mount all the scrap to it. I don't want to butcher that other carburetor.
That's an 022. That's kind of small for most of these engines. You're going to have to drill it out. This is the original ones I did, 026.
All right.
And then I did a plug test. And you could see I went through plugs, and the same engine, I did a plug test. And see, and the one of them is fouled. That was the one I said was running too rich. Then I changed the carburetor, changed the jet size, and ran it, same amount of time. And look at the difference. Big difference. Nice and chocolatey. You can see the way it's depositing, too. So if I left the carburetor that said 026 on it, if I left that to run, the customer would be back because the motor would stop. It would foul up. It'd be just horrible. You can't leave it like that.
All right. All right, quick audio. All right, I'm coming back. Oh, where am I? All right, I'm gonna turn off. That mic? Yeah. Yeah, that should do it. I'm back. So yeah, I just wanted to go through that. I don't know where the Toros went. I don't know what they did. I don't know where the hell they were. But they were all here, apparently. Now, because they're just loading up in the backyard. I gotta take a leak. What are you guys doing? Anybody gotta take a leak? Because I gotta take a leak. We haven't done P Lady in a while. I think it's time for like P Lady. I think there's only like 10 people watching, so we could do P Lady. We'll come back. Well, how long have I been working? Let's see. What's my time out? What's the time thing? An hour 27. Oh, it's an hour 27. We're pretty much done. Yeah. Yeah, and there's like 9 people currently, so an hour and a half. That's about as long as I usually go. Anyway, I can wait. So I got to do all of that stuff. And I don't have all of my shit together yet. I'm also not used to doing live shows. It's been a while. Because I don't have time to prepare for them either. I just don't have the time for it. I got another video coming out. Big Mike's tractor is just about ready. Last of 2 videos. This one's going to be on the cutting deck, making it mint. It's like a 15-minute video, just a quick thing. And then the last video on that whole series from last year, because I recorded it towards the end of the season. That's going to be just kind of making the mower mint, going through some stuff on the mower. There's some detail items on his Simplicity Sunstar. We'll get through the last few items on the punch list, make it all nice and pretty, get it all together, and he takes delivery. And then I can actually close that whole folder out because that's got a lot of shit in it. Let me see what his folder's up to right now. Hold on. I just want to see. Let me minimize this. What's his folder up to? I'll show you guys how big it is. Yeah, here's Mike's Sunstar. Okay. So let's see. Right monitor. Mic on. I don't really like this setup though. It's cleaner, but it's more for me to remember. So this is his folder. This is all of the videos in it. There's still a lot within the 2 camera folders, or 3 camera folders, plus this camera folder, which is recorded through OBS. I'm working on some segments right now. These are all the ones that we've done already. So how many? Yeah, I think there's even some live stuff in here because I see a vlog. The bead cedar. That's another vlog. That was probably from a live. So what we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 2 more to come out. And the size of the folder is 121 gigabytes. Contains 176 files and 23 folders. That's just for one machine. And created on September 29, 2024. So yeah, okay, so the original creation date when I started this, I guess putting it all together, was the 29th of September in 2024. Wow. And that's just one. That's just one of many. You can see all the other ones in that folder, the other ones that are actually in that folder right there that I just showed. Those are things that I just have to be currently working on. But that's like nothing. That's absolutely nothing. I don't know, I have terabytes worth of shit. It's crazy what you wind up with once you start recording everything. All right, fellas, what is it? It's an hour and 31 minutes. So I do my hour and a half. I'm going to get out of here. And I think we got like 9 people left. So at this point now, we might as well call it. Just wanted to do an update time with everybody just so you guys see that I'm still alive and still working, still doing stuff. Let me shut up the mic so it doesn't echo as bad. And I got to get used to that. I don't know if like I said, I don't know if I like it better. If I remember to turn the different mics on, it's cleaner and it has less issues. But I don't like necessarily doing that because it'll echo. I know, I just turned it off. So, Mike, you're almost done. I got a little bit more to do on you, Big Mike. You know, just to tie in with a few things, lubrication. I got to put the carburetor on. Hopefully I don't have to drill it or do anything like that with it. I won't know. I'm going to take it apart, inspect the inside of it. Anytime you put an aftermarket carburetor on, it's a good idea to open it up, take a look in there, make sure there's no trash in there from their whole building process. Measure the jet. Measure it against the original jet if you can, if there is a jet that you can get to. These carburetors are a little bit different, so I don't know if that's a thing. Sometimes you can't. Some carburetor designs, it's very, very difficult to drill a jet. But you could at least take a look inside. I'll put it on there. We'll see what happens. Got the oil change to do. I got to put all the panels back and all the other parts and pieces. The blades are already done. They're on it. More lubrication. And then I don't know if I'm going to use it, but I might use it to cut my lawn. We'll see. I might do a test and cut my lawn with it if I don't have time. Because we're going to get rain. We're going to have like another couple of nice days, and then it's going to rain again. So I'll see you guys later. We're down to 8 people. All right. See you guys later. Later.